She's been in the business for over 10 years.
Me I do me and them I do them.
But this may very well be her best year yet. He's a Jamaican-born rapper.
All of my niggas riders, we with the
who has been deported and restarted his career in music here at home in Jamaica.
Jamaica made me 80s, baby.
She's the angel, and he, Jakal. The two are on a record and come to share.
Oh yeah.
Marion Hall responds to Mr. Vegas's plea for her to reclaim her dancehall crown.
It's the green light when I say go.
Is trap dancehall negatively impacting the business of dance in Jamaica? Dancehall dance instructor Orville Hall believes it does and comes to discuss. And weighing in on Dancehall Now, mainstream producer Salaam Remi cites reasons why mainstream may be shunning new age dancehall. All coming up right here on our stage. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am Winford Williams. We'll be right back. All right, so we're excited to tell you that our Onstage TV app is now available in both the Apple and Android stores. Download it, share it, and be on our stage anywhere, everywhere, always.
I'm dedicated to the girl and wanna mother. Second miss a cat because you come from my shit up.
Now in dancehall, dance moves to match. The beat is a critical component for success. The dance moves and the rhythms
Catch you dance to them called breadfruit.
have always been indigenous to Jamaica.
Rap bogle dance and music sweet you. Make with that song. Yes.
Now with the advent of trap dancehall, which is rooted in hip-hop, it appears the dance moves to match are also borrowed from hip-hop. Is it negatively impacting the business of dancehall in Jamaica? That's a question that we're asking right now as we bring on to our stage the dance master himself, tutor, Orville Hall. Right now, right here on our stage. Brother, welcome, sir. Good to have you.
Always a pleasure.
Because this is a major question. You have a concern. What are the specifics of your concern?
What is trap dancehall?
Yes.
Like that's one of the questions I want, because when I look at when I Google trap, it has nothing rooted in dancehall.
Yes.
What element of the music is dancehall? How is it in keeping with what we do in dancehall to define dancehall movements as well? So these are the questions.
These are the questions, because if the music, if the root, the beat, okay, is hip-hop, then the moves will also...
automatically become, yeah.
Yeah, but the issue with it is this, that you are exporting Jamaican dance moves.
Yes.
It's now an industry.
Yeah.
It's part of the ecosystem of dancehall, a big part now, a major component right now. Because there are people coming to Jamaica to learn moves.
Yes.
They're spending money, they're tourists, they're students, they're renting rooms, they're consuming Jamaican products and so on and so forth. So tourism, it's a business for you and so many others.
Absolute business for me and many others.
You're also traveling and teaching dance,
yes.
Jamaican, indigenous, organic dancehall dance moves, right?
Yeah.
So now if the music shifted to the hip-hop borrowed trap, then the beat, the moves to match would also
automatically
be rooted in hip-hop.
In hip-hop.
Is that the concern?
Yeah. Dancehall is like the seed of what was planted to bring hip-hop.
Yes.
So now it seems like we're flipping the script by taking back from hip-hop for this thing that we call trap dancehall. Okay. And mind you, if it's trending and a man are doing trap dancehall, I have no problem with it as long as you can explain to me. Explain to me what is trap dancehall and what makes it trap dancehall, what element of it, what element of dancehall is in it.
Yes.
What have you retained in it? Because what I am seeing, I'm hearing a music that don't have that driving bass that is dancehall. That's what we dance.
That's the identity
Yeah,
of
that's
dancehall.
the identity. That is what we dance to. We dance to that driving bass beat, and that is why our thing is more repetition in movements rather than lyrical. Now, based on the fact that the youth them don't have a beat to dance to, the movements become lyrical, which is what is one of the component of hip hop.
Yes.
Dancing to what the people them say. So it becomes very fast and dynamic.
Okay.
And dancehall is about repetition. When you look, when we look at the things from the 90s, when you look at some of these beats and the movements, when you look on jiggy, when you look on weddy, when you look on bogle dance, is a repetition and there's a flow in the body.
So the drum and bass is carrying it.
This is what is carrying it. This is what makes us move the way we move. You know, man, I said that's the soul of the beat and the soul of the movement for us.
Okay. So are you actually seeing a fall off in people coming, students coming from abroad to learn the moves in Jamaica?
No, there's
not there yet.
There's no fall off. What we're seeing, however, is
Yes.
that the more people that come here, they want to indulge in more 80s, 90s, early
they're
2000s.
making requests.
Yes, absolute requests. The dancers, Boise, Dancer Bling, Kojo, myself, Shelly, Stacy, Caterpillar, these young dancers and the ones who are there before are now getting more work because people are requesting specific 80s, 90s dance class. And when people touch into the 2000s, they want the early 2000 things then.
So they're shunning the new age dancehall.
When they came before, because of this whole internet thing, and you know, dancers can send themselves out there on the internet and tell people, say, well, I'm the baddest thing in Jamaica now. A lot of them come to Jamaica saying, let's see what this new wave of dancehall moves are. But when they get here, many of them complain that they're not even understanding the moves because a lot of them are coming from the hip hop discipline.
Yes.
So when they come here, they're saying, but this feels like what I've been doing in hip hop. It don't feel like what is indigenous to Jamaican dancehall. Because them do them research in a Winford. Them people that do them own research.
Absolutely. So the potential fallout could be that they could stay where they are, and if Jamaica said they don't need to travel here, they don't need your school anymore.
Right. So if it's just about listening to this new beat and doing dynamic steps to what is being said, then where is the story? Where is the underlying story that makes dancehall? Where's the link with move and beat?
Yeah.
Where is the link with language and dance? Because remember, say, a number of our moves came from jargons as well, you know.
Yes.
Local jargons, you know. You know, I say when Bogle used to say weddy, when he used to say jiggy, he used to, say blase. Blase was just a jargon that became a dance. So we have to think about it. Where are we going with this, and what define it? How do you define it?
So how do you answer to the question of self-expression, free to express yourself based on what you're consuming? So your consumption is always informing your expression.
I have no problem with that.
Yes.
What I am saying is that when it comes on to culture now, when you're going to be representing culture, knowledge is important.
Yes.
Remember, you can decide, say, me go experiment, me go take piece of this, piece of that, and me go do this with it. But how much percent of this you take,
yes,
as opposed to how much percent of that? And what will you call it if there is more of this than that?
Yes.
If it's 90%, if it's 60% trap, and 40% dancehall, what is it?
Now the mainstream space is heavily sampling like never before.
Yeah.
In particular the 90s. They are sampling just about everything that hit, every rhythm from the 90s.
Yes, man.
See? So while that is happening, so they're coming south. Hip hop comes south and I pick up hits from the Jamaican space, sampling and using those bad rhythms.
Because that is the defining decade of dancehall. The 90s.
And we going that way.
We're going
north.
Way. Yeah.
A borough. It's interesting. So the youth energy in Jamaica is going north.
Yeah.
And the energy, the mainstream energy, hip hop, rock, everything that comes south.
It's coming south.
Going into Jamaican catalog.
when you go into the dancehall space now, and certain things play, like this trap thing, you have one crew over there, so do for them thing, you have a next crew over here, so do for them thing, you have a next crew over there, so. You see, when the man them drop Elephant Man new song, Find It,
Yes.
you see everybody converge in the middle of the dance for one time, doing the same thing because of what the beat is telling the body to do. So we're going right back to the base of things.
So that time the dance bus.
That time the dance bus. Because now, the beat is absolutely familiar. It goes into muscle memory for you to remember what was happening during this time.
Could it be a reason why Dave Kelly stepped back in with that Buju Trust?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because we have to remember this now, and we have to big up people like Dave Kelly, and we have to big up Scatterburrell, and we have to big up the Turtle Dove them, the people we identify. We have to big up RDX.
A generation there.
Because RDX them a bus back a rhythm with them have a name Chrome, brother. And they're realizing now, you can't stand in the wings anymore and watch it fall to ruin.
Yeah.
You have to step back in now and say, all right, is either it going to be a formal setting where we educate you, or we force yourself back into the business with what is really authentic, hardcore dancehall beats for you to learn. So the new youth, them out there and them a try to do them thing, but when you hear a Elephant Man thing drop out there, you have to go back to the jiggy. You have to go back to the fan them off. You have to go back to the Shelly Belly. You have to go back to these things because this is what defines the movements. That repetition, that thing that comes out of how we live. We dance how we live, you know. When we signal plane and when we call down rain and when we do umbrella, it's a part of what comes out of our African heritage in terms of how we move, we dance, how we live. And we come from the 70s with that, with S90 skank, with the things that we earn. When early beats say pedal and wheel, because the youth them they are riding off bicycle, go dance hall, and you know, so it's a part. If you are not able to put it into the context of culture, especially when you come on to dance movement, then we're just out there.
So what are you proposing that we do as a nation, government and all of us, as it relates to these kids now?
We need to get the culture. We need to formalize things about the culture. How the music is played. Dancehall is not just something you just go up there and do. We have to go back for the Derek Barnett. So we have to go back to the people and we identify how you play a bass line in dancehall, how a drum pattern is played in dancehall. And we have to put that, we have to go back to from primary level and we have to put that in the institution so the kids know it. We have to use the language, we have to put the language back in there so them can understand it. We have to put the dance moves back in there. We have to have a curriculum about the arts from the Jamaican perspective in schools.
Yes.
And this is where I challenge the governments, the movers and shakers. Get these things into the institutions with the youth so we don't have, we have a whole group of youths now where travel the world that have talent but no information. And you don't want to send them out there with just the talent, but you want to send them out there with, we can't have something as strong as the Jamaican culture.
There's an erosion of identity, you know.
That's the
with the advent of internet, where people are connecting in different communities and so on, and chatting
and out there and
sharing and so on.
They don't know who they are, but they're out there.
So it is important that if you're a supplier of anything, if you're a provider and you look to that which you provide for an income, it is incumbent on you to protect your identity.
It is.
And all of Jamaica should be concerned about this because we're small and we have some powerful neighbors to the north.
Yes.
Who can just erode us?
Man.
Just run through with things.
Easily.
And there's also the reggaeton. So we are just a little English-speaking little island down here, so with 3 million.
Brother, if it wasn't the heart of the people in Jamaica, I mean, would have been overrun already.
The street, Orville, the man like you, them with them on the street I create every night.
The man them on the ground, and them we have to give thanks
every night in the street I create new things.
Because remember, you know, I'm against all odds, you know, them standing up out there.
Gosh, man.
Against all odds, you know, everything them throw at them, you know. It is the dancehall space that still keep us grounded, you know.
So in the meanwhile, Orville, on a personal level now, you're very active.
Yes.
And now you're an activist. But you're actively teaching dance.
Yeah,
Your
man.
people are coming to Jamaica to you.
Yes,
And you're
yes.
going abroad to
Yes.
do seminars and to show
Yes.
and to give instructions and
Yeah.
so on. So it's not that you are hungry at the moment.
No, brother,
You're not talking about hunger.
me turn down tours. Like I stopped touring in 2016 to really establish dancehall locally, to
Yes.
bring people into the culture. And it was not until this year that them said you need to come back into Europe. That's when I went to Europe and did a 3-week run in Europe. And by the time I got back home, I said, boy, I'm going to focus on 2020 and see if I can, solidify what I'm doing here. Then Asia call. So myself and Shelly will be out in January doing 3 weeks in Asia. We're doing India, we're doing China, we're doing Philippines.
So would you say that what you do is still on a growth path?
Yes, man.
Still growing?
Yes, it's still growing. It's
So
still
the
growing.
take-up is still rising?
Yes.
The people are
Yes,
still seeking out from
Yes.
Australia, from
all
over
the
Europe,
world,
from South
and
America.
they're asking for the foundation things. They're asking for the 80s and 90s.
Because that's what brought them here.
And that is what they understand the dancehall to be.
Yes.
When we leave out today, really is after 2005 when Borg left us.
Mm-hmm.
That is when it started to get a little confusing for them, because they must say the beats don't sound like real dancehall. Like if you take the artist off of the beat, like the beat I can't pinpoint where dancehall is in this beat. And then the movement started to get lyrical, so people start saying, what is this? So now we really have more people coming into Jamaica, but they are now being,
They want the root.
Yeah, they want the root. If it wasn't for that, I can tell you, I wouldn't be traveling. But, I am one of the most traveled dancer in Jamaica, bar none, still,
Aye. Well, my friend, keep up the good work.
Respect, brother.
We're proud of you. Orville Hall from Expressions, Dance Expressions. That's your social media ID?
Yes, man, Orville Expressions.
Orville Expressions.
Yep.
Look him up. All right, so stay with us right here on stage. Still to come, the Angel and Jakal are next.
Baby, just you. You don't see me with my man. Hey, boy, try and move.
All right, so we're excited to tell you that our Onstage TV app is now available in both the Apple and Android stores. Download it, share it, and be on our stage anywhere, everywhere, always. A couple of weeks ago, Salaam Remi was on our stage and weighed in on Dancehall Now, including trap dancehall. There's a raging debate in Jamaica, big debate in Jamaica about dancehall shifting to what is now called trap dancehall. Yeah? But what we see being sampled widely in the mainstream, globally, the international mainstream, and what I consider the organic dancehall, being sampled by mainstream artists.
Right.
But our kids are more interested in the newcomers, the new arrivals in dancehall. The younger you get, the more they're into what they call trap. What do you make of that?
Well, prior to this, I would compare it to reggaeton. See, there was a time when El General and different reggae, Latin reggae artists were now doing, whatever they heard Shabba do.
Yes.
And then that became when dancehall got faster at a certain point, and there was more of, the hyper, the calisthenics in the dance, I would call it. Put one foot here, this and that. They're like, wait a minute, we want to wind up and be, we're slow dancing for dancehall. We want the rub up, we want everything else is there. So they maintained with reggaeton, and some of that music was the same, but then as trap music became more popular in America, and that became the young people's hip hop, then you got Latin trap now. So sometimes, Daddy Yankee has a big hit, but is he a reggaeton star or is he Latin trap? He's doing whatever it is. So I just think the same way, the fusion of trap music and dancehall, I'm not mad at it. I think that it just needs, everyone has to do their balance. Certain artists that have the opportunity to contribute, you just need more contribution from all sides of it.
But what about identity? Dancehall is behind in terms of numbers, sheer numbers, sales. Big international names that are fronting dancehall music from the island, from Jamaica, based here, live here. We don't see that. So
what was the last one?
Is not earning the kind of commercial success that it's the hip hop and even reggaeton.
That's focus.
are reaping.
It's focus, it's production. We had a time when a lot of artists had a producer and a manager. They were working together. You know, is Sean Paul one of the last international stars?
Yes.
So now that he's been, you know, he got a national honor a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Sean Paul's been out for 20...
Honor of distinction in Jamaica.
Right, so he's been out for 20-something years.
Yes.
So who are the other artists after him? There are other artists here, which may be a Sasko or different people who are at the brink of it. You know, Chronix is doing a good job doing this thing. Coffee's got a song. Well, these artists just need a little unity amongst everyone. Rather than saying, you did this, I did that, unity amongst everyone to say, this is what we need to do and help each other pull forward. Because if the music is better, like when we had a sound, see the whole idea of sound system culture, right? You would have one sound come and play something. When Jammies come and he plays electronic music, then what the other sound gonna do? They're gonna sit there and just die? They're gonna go and get into electronic music too. If you hear somebody do something, the next person comes back the next week better. So let's utilize these opportunities to make all of the music better, to say, okay, cool, that one's doing that, let me contribute. That's the way I see it.
Yes,
I wouldn't criticize, I contribute.
we respect youth energy and that it's a creative space. It cannot be fixed. It cannot be stuck in one era or one style. But what I'm saying is, Jamaica is a big contributor to global culture in terms of music.
Period. And music, everything.
Jamaica is a major player.
Hairstyle.
But Jamaica is not seeing the commercial returns, the international, global commercial success that it truly deserves. And what do you think is holding us back? Do you have an answer for that?
Unity.
Yes.
Structure.
Yes.
Everyone working together on something. If you see somebody doing something that's almost there, help them. Build it. That's ultimately where it is. I mean, if you look at, you know, there was a conversation about Afrobeats in London. If you look at the population from the Windrush in 68, 69?
Late 50s.
To now, okay, well, look at the amount of Africans that have arrived there. They also have their own vibe of music.
Yes.
So I'm not saying there's one or the other. It just comes down to represent your thing. And if you're doing it well, I mean, that's it. I mean, all I can say is I represent the music is, put it like this. My motto for the month is, a good tune is going to last longer than your feelings.
So
keep your feelings.
That's
at
why
the end of the day, so because I'm still sitting here, I'll be dead and gone, but some songs I made are stuck, right?
Okay, absolutely.
Good tune lasts longer than your feelings. Everybody work with that one for the month.
While I have you, and forgive me if I'm pushing too hard to get some more answers from someone like you. It's important what you say. Because why is it that the mainstream producers, record labels, aren't signing more Jamaicans?
All right, so then we'll go back a step.
Yes.
What year was it? It was a year when Dave Kelly was constantly producing.
Yes.
Every year.
During the 90s, yes.
He was killing you with a rhythm. Then you also had Steeler and Clevie.
Yes.
You had Donnie Brownie. You had everyone that I would look up to. And you still would have one-off rhythms here and there, but you had 3 or 4 strong production units that were focused on certain artists, certain voices, certain records, shocking vibes. You still had enough people that were doing it. When the business became harder for the producers, who were no longer 18, 19, 20, 25, as big men to actually sustain, it becomes harder to now, get paid. I mean, the reality of the business now is if I give you a song for free and you take it and put it out, the streaming and the revenue money from a producer is not making any sense. But you might do a 500 grand in shows.
In live appearance.
So now those live appearances now have to be balanced with the producer. So it just came down to the structure. The strength of a Shaggy was based on a Robert Livingston and a partnership with Shaggy where they were able to push it forward. It has to be more than just, I produce a song, I have a beat, I'm in this house over here, okay, I got the beat from you, I run to this one. It just needs to be more structure and unity. That's really what happened. That's really where it became harder for, as a big man producer, I was doing, records from 2000 forward out of my passion. I'm doing this right now out of my passion, not because there's a financial gain directly back from it. And it's hard for some people to do that when they don't have it. So then now you lose the people who know how to make a record at will, and you get someone who might stumble on a record every 4 or 5. It just needs a little structure. And like I said, that's the contribution that I'm here for. Talk to producers, talk to engineers. The engineering is a big aspect as well. Everything that sounds good on an iPad doesn't sound good in the big sound system.
Okay.
Jamaican engineering, if you listen to things that scientists and King Tubby did and everyone else did in small rooms, and listen to it across the world. The sonics of it make a difference. But the reality is, trap music is the same way. It's doing a certain thing in America in certain places, but you're not necessarily seeing the global side of it unless you get a Drake, who's actually a songwriter at that level. The songwriting, I mean, if you look at even the songwriting that's come out of the island, a lot of people are good, but the reality is that Cartel is probably one of the best songwriters of part of his prior generation to him and after. That's why he can continue to write songs that still sting from wherever he is.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it's the songwriting, it's the production, it's the focus, it's the unity that's going to make things work. And that's what I'm looking to promote. Not for my benefit, from our benefit.
David is quoted as saying that Afrobeat is ahead of dancehall now in the UK. Do you agree with that?
I think the Afrobeat has a larger population of Nigerians, Ghanaians, and everyone else in the UK than Caribbean people. So it's ahead in the fact that it's more popular and it's new at the moment.
It's base, it's numbers.
Yeah, the numbers and base, and also it's relative. You know, ultimately, if we know the connection between Ghana and Jamaica, then what are we talking about? It's just how much seasoning you're putting from one hand to the other.
Absolutely.
So then the reality is that it's just, you know, it's part of it. And there's enough artists that are in Jamaica that are also benefiting from the Afrobeat thing. But I think you can't take the separatism from it. You have to look at it and say a good tune is a good tune. I heard this morning an artist, Afro B, who has one of the biggest Afrobeat records, singing over Action. So what does that mean? You know, but is anybody looking at Terror or Nadine here? All right, cool. I talked to both of them. What are we doing?
Oh, you did? Nice.
What are we doing? So I'm just saying, I'm flying in and I'm talking to two people that Afrobeat is sampling across the world. Where's it going?
What about
Well,
US?
appreciate it.
Afrobeat in the US?
Afrobeat in the U.S. is cool. It is hitting certain markets, but it's not hitting everywhere. It's Atlanta, New York.
It's not blown up yet.
It's not everywhere, no, because they still haven't come up with the song or the star who really represents
But
it all
isn't
together.
the UK
but
now-
the kids like it, but it's not going all the way yet.
Isn't the UK always ahead of the US in terms of music
There's certain
trends?
There's certain stuff that's going to happen in the UK that will never happen in the US. If you look at it with the UK's rappers, which UK rapper has actually done well in the US? They won't, because it's a cultural thing.
But
It's a
many
different
records in reggae, in dancehall, in other genres, break in the UK before they break stateside.
Sometimes. I mean, it depends on where you're sitting. For me, coming out of New York, I saw it happen in the year before. But even then, the hits that would happen in dancehall for the last 15, 20 years, it wasn't, the 90s was the time when I can turn around and get your vocal. I get a Winford vocal on Monday, and I put it out on Tuesday, and by Wednesday, it's selling out in the key record stores. That was a time when it could happen that quick. There was a time when you drop a Shaba, and it gets to VP in Queens, and it sell off before everybody knows it. There was a time when it happens. But the reality is that most of the songs that happen, they took 6 months to a year to prove themselves before it was there. Cheerleader being a big hit, cool, but specialists have been working Cheerleader with Omi for a year before I even touched it with the Sony machine. And it still took another 8 months. Coffee with Toast. Toast is playing a lot of places, but everyone in America doesn't know who Coffee is. She's still building. And the song itself, as much as we love it and we love the vibes of it, it still needs more things to happen. So it's a growth process. And if you're not patient enough to continue to say, well, you got one song, make two. You know what I'm saying? You got three, you have to do more. I mean, because how many great shows have you done? Can you count them? So if you can count them, then who are you? If you have a party promoter and you got 2 big parties, boy, I'm the hottest promoter. Really? How long you gonna say that? You know, we're talking about a decade later, 2 decades, 3 decades later. If you do this, do it.
We're not
Stop
greedy
talking.
enough.
It's not even greedy enough. It's just the fact that if I make, I can't tell you about one record I make. I can't say I'm a clash this and that with one clash. I better keep doing this. Scorpio length. 51 years of a winning sound system, then I can talk to you. But, you know, people want to celebrate before they even get out the gate.
Okay, so you're talking to locals. Producers, artists.
Anybody I can contribute with, you know, even some of my competitors in the clash, I've reached out, hey, what's up? What you doing? You want to do something? Let's link up, let's do some music. Because at the end of the day, like I said, a good song lasts longer than your feelings. And the good songs are what we need.
Salaam, sir. Wow. So much to process from you.
I can talk
sir,
for hours,
what
but I
you've
know
said.
we're on a time limit, so.
Yeah. But we could talk forever because there's so much more I'd like to talk to you about. But since you're in the culture and you're actually here, and I hope you come back as often as
There'll
possible.
be a strong do it for the culture presence here.
Oh, correct.
As we'll see in weeks coming.
Oh, great. So we can talk again because there are so many things happening in this culture that need fixing things need to be fixed, and you're saying some of them. But, you know, so we're always talking about the music, the business of music, and want to go behind and to understand the inner workings of the process. Because it's not what we see in media and what we listen to, you know, just comes somewhere, Jay. There's more to it than that.
Can't have a long conversation over short money. If the song is no good, then everybody lost.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Same.
We have a long debate with 25 people over a song that's not good. Make a good song and then everybody can shut up and dance.
So. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Salaam Remi right here on our stage. All right, stay with us after the break. Marion responds to Mr. Vegas.
I'm gonna pass.
And later,
I'm gonna pray.
the angel and Jakal.
From they see you with me, they should know you mine.
Together. We'll be back.
Urban legend Jakal, niggas know the time.
All right, so we're excited to tell you that our Onstage TV app is now available in both the Apple and Android stores. Download it, share it, and be on our stage anywhere, everywhere, always. During a recent interview right here on our stage, Marion Hall responded to Mr. Vegas's call for her to reclaim her crown in dancehall. Here is what Marion told us.
Ready to drink from your fountain.
Before we go, we want to get a little update from you with career, your ministry, your gospel ministry.
yes.
What can you tell us about it? Where is it now? How is it
Well,
going?
the Lord told me just weeks ago while I was in Birmingham, He said it's time to preach. He has been giving me a lot of sermons, powerful sermons, and I do like short exhortation, but then He said that to me. I went to Canada, I got so much equipment, like so many stuff. I'm like, God, you serious? Then I got a baptism pool. And then I went to Birmingham, then I went over to London, and then I get all these stuff, and I'm like, God, you're not playing. So there was when the Lord first told me that I don't want you to just sing, I want you to preach. I was in Florida, and He woke me up and told me that. I told it to pass the hand, and I came to my bishop here, Bishop who baptized me, Everton Thomas, and I said, God told me He wants me to preach. Do you have anyone who can help me with that? So He gave me Pastor Jackson from Atlanta, but he's so highly educated and sophisticated. The first assignment Him gave me, He said, man, that's too complicated, my God. So I was surprised that I went over to the church 2 weeks ago. As soon as I come back from London, there goes Pastor Jackson preaching. And he preached a simple message that was so powerful. I said, God, you're not easy. Yes. So he took me right back there. I had no idea he was preaching. And then we start connecting. And everything I needed about, I can preach for, say, 20 minutes, but to go 60 and, you know. So I tell him, God, give me a church, Holy Ghost Pentecostal Church of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. I tried to take out the Jesus because it was so long and it wouldn't happen. I buy the domain and I tried to buy it without the Jesus and it wouldn't happen. I say, okay, Lord, let your will be done. So I'm looking for some place now, a spot. I don't know where God...
In Jamaica?
Whatever parcel ground Him give me down here, we are trampled upon
In
it.
Jamaica?
In Jamaica. So that's what's happening with me. So
But it's your ministry sounds like
it's all over the world.
It's international.
It's
right?
all over. Oh my God.
Are you fully assimilated in the gospel in Christendom now?
Let me tell you something. I'm sold out. I'm sold out for Jesus. That's, you know, I'm sold out. That's all I can tell you. I live for Him. I die for Him. I can't breathe.
You're embraced.
Oh, Jesus.
You're welcomed by the
yes.
the establishment,
Them
Christians.
I'm in a play church. Me mad for Jesus. So everybody see from them see me, them see Holy Ghost.
Yes.
So them nobody question me. And if them question me, I'll go so I'll flatten everybody around. So they must say, oh man, you fire too much. Take you on them. No, sir, you have too much Holy Ghost fire. You understand? So I don't care though who think them want to judge me or whatever. You see, from I know you, when I pack up my grip and I go up to heaven, nobody can turn me back.
There was a call from someone. I believe it was Mr. Vegas.
Yes.
For you to re-embrace your dancehall catalog and how much money you could have been making from that catalog right now?
Oh, Lord, I'm rich in spirit.
Yes.
Can I tell you something? I can tell you I'm not making the millions that I used to. But when God said I shall supply all your needs, He really mean it, because I'm never hungry. Never. Me have clothes and shoes same way. Me still wear my high-end shoes, them because me have a high-end God. Glory, Jesus! Let me tell you something. Some people sometimes get up and say, I'm going to serve the Lord, I'm going to give my life to God, I give my life to God, and then them can't endure. When we in the world, say for a female, some man abuse we, then call we name, then can't buy we slippers, and we endure. We hungry, we still endure, and say that is love. When we take on Christ, you see, when you take on Christ, I believe you take on Satan and his entourage. So the battles are gonna come. But him say, weary not in well-doing, because in due time, hey, hallelujah, Jesus. I want to them, me live back, oh God, hey, if they ever see me start getting mad for Jesus, then throw me up on stage. So, you know, when Vegas was talking, I think it's because he had said he was gonna serve the Lord, and he couldn't manage it. So man look company if you draw me up, but no devil in hell can't draw me up. I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angel nor principality, let me tell you, principality nor no devil in hell can't get, hey, you know how much time I sit down? And I get all some ackee and rice and I bless it like a steak. You that think that salmon me I eat weird sweet. When me put my hallelujah upon that and my glory, how sweet so, them can't get me out. Me do enough sin in a life and God already washed me. And when me drop on me knee, me get up again and he never turn me back. Him never say, one way I go, he wash me again with the blood. You know one time he drop around and chip up and he just dust me off. Yeah? And he'll never leave me off a seat. Me not pay them no mind, yeah. They want attention.
I will say this, Marion. I will say this.
You know, see me up when me talk about Jesus, me feel.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Absolutely. That's what's always present. I've been covering you for decades. Literally. And I will say this, that the energy you brought to gospel,
I love the Lord.
Seems to me, seems more powerful than what you had in dancehall. And nobody could walk in your shoes in dancehall when you were the lady star, the queen. And now in gospel, in no time you transitioned and exerting the same level of energy in your performance, in your engagement.
It's fire. Jeremiah said it's like fire, you know?
Yeah.
It just in here. So when the fire blaze, me I tell you, man, hell run, man. Because right now Satan will be a trouble, you know? Me I say, how him take special interest in me so? And when him can't manage me, you know, him turn to the family. But more time, all yesterday, man, me have to storm the gate of hell. Because there's so many battles that I'm fighting. They're fierce. I've never seen battles like this. In dancehall, that was joke. When everybody a quarrel for the devil throne and the devil crown. But you see, no, that the devil sister, you know, said that woman here cause havoc already in a kingdom of darkness. Me no send no go guard her. They can't guard me. The devil and the man them confused. They can't manage me. Come here, I'll baptize again. You know they know. Me go down to King Jesus and when Holy Ghost sweet me, man, me say I dip me see people are re-baptized. Then say they recommit with their husband. They renew their vows. I say, God, I want to wash off again. I want to recommit. I want to renew my vows with you one more time. So when me baptize Satan, I say, mad. I want to do her. Me say, wait till I go back. When I go to River Jordan, train up them. I baptize in River Jordan too. That is how he gets me. I don't really speak a lot of proper English. When I'm speaking to Winford, we're like that. So you'll hear a lot of broken English.
Yes, baby.
I can't speak proper English, you know.
Wow! Oh yeah! Absolutely.
Obviously, right?
Tell him, Marion. Tell him. Yeah. You know, we're gonna have to bring you back. We have to go bring you back.
Oh yeah.
All right, stay with us right here on stage. After the break, the angel and rapper Jakal together. Wow.
On the first ring when she hit the phone.
I only want you and I'm all alone.
All right, so we're excited to tell you that our Onstage TV app is now available in both the Apple and Android stores. download it, share it, and be on our stage anywhere, everywhere, always. She has been in the business for over 10 years now, but this is perhaps the best year of her career.
I am so blessed. I am so stress-free.
He is a Jamaican-born rapper who was deported from the US and restarted his career in music here at home.
My hoe hold me the tightest. I only want her on the night shift.
She's the angel, and he, Jakal. And the two are on a record and come to our stage to share with us right now. The angel.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Welcome.
It's a
Welcome
blessing.
home.
Thank you for having me.
Jakal.
It's a pleasure.
Good, sir. Good to meet you.
Sir, pleasure.
All right, the angel. So tell us about this coming together of both of you.
Well, Rush contacted me and said, boy, the angel, I have the baddest song, baddest rapper, and you are the perfect person for this track. Nobody else. You were one, the lady of dancehall.
Okay.
So I never hesitated, because when it comes on to music, and then I know that Rush, has a good ear for music. So I said, my ear something, no? So he said, no, man, just forward of the yard, man, forward of the studio. So I just said, you know what, give me a few. I went up there, and I met Jakal same time. And the synergy was awesome. They heard the track, and it was a familiar track, a familiar sound. Na 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 na. Right away, me just get excited.
Oh,
you know?
You get the rush.
We get the what? Rush from the head to the toe. So right there and then, I just spit my verse, and from there it has been received so well, gone viral. Everybody talk about it. It's on everybody's lips. And I'm happy to be a part of it, because when I heard the story, I was more than elated to be a part of it, because it's something good, something, just to make a difference and just to show the youth that, you can make it after deportation. Okay. It's not the end of the world.
All right, Jakal, take it away and tell us your side of the story.
My side of the story, it's the same side, you know what I mean? Did the song, Rush produced the rhythm, and she was in mine. He called her, because he had contact with her, called her. She was receptive, real quick, came to the studio. Energy is phenomenal, you know what I mean? Knocked it out crazy, and the track is what it is. Now we're here promoting it. First single off my album, Deportee.
Me alone.
So that's the name of the album?
Yes.
Deportee.
Staying true to my situation and transparent at the same time.
Okay, so and so talk a little bit more, be a little more transparent for us now, by telling us about what happened to you in the US and why you were deported and so on.
I got deported. That comes from being incarcerated. I was incarcerated for a total of 10 years. You know what I mean? I was over there just...
So what was your crime?
Selling drugs, some violent stuff, everything that had to do with the streets, everything that comes with the street life, you know what I mean? I was fully active in that. That was my world.
Okay.
Got caught up in that. Got arrested during my last stint in prison, you know what I mean? Because I did 3 different times. It's not glorifying, but it took that many times for me to find myself and see that that's not the path for me, you know what I mean? So after a lot of self-assessment, got deported, I'm here, continued pursuing my dream, and decided not to let that stop me.
Okay, so you're from where in Jamaica?
I was born in Montego Bay, yeah.
And you migrated at what age?
11, 12, around 11, 12, yeah.
And music came where, when?
Music came in New York. I can't specifically say when, but I got the rap bug, man. And then as a kid in the 90s, that's what you're surrounded with. Then you find out the history of rap, that a Jamaican started it, Cool Herc, and that just made me fall in love with it even more. Okay. And then,
So your rapping wasn't working for you, hence the involvement in street life, in drugs and so on.
I wasn't pursuing it the way that I should. I wasn't doing it wholehearted.
You didn't believe. You didn't believe yet.
Yeah, I was half and half. I was still in the streets, because it's hard to let go when you're sure of something for something that you're not sure about. Yes. And I wasn't sure about it at that time, and I wasn't confident enough to step out on just music and say forget everything else. Yeah.
So how long have you been back now to Jamaica?
I've been in Jamaica now for 6 years, I think, since 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, since 2012.
So sum up that period for us and your restart.
So getting deported, came to Jamaica with nothing, a few dollars, $800. I had to just mentally know that nothing can stop the situation, you know? So slept on the floor that first night, you know what I mean? And really started from there.
Okay.
Always knew that music is what I'm pursuing. So even no matter what point someone met me from I'm here, they know that, yo, he's doing music. Whether they believed in it or laughed at it or not, they knew that that was my mission, that was my focus. I had to sell like shoes and stuff in between, you know, to bring the money, and I used to sell women's shoes in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're fully assimilated now. You're back in Jamaica.
Yes.
You're Jamaican again.
Yes.
And the
I'm
street,
Jamaica.
you know this well. The Jamaican street. You know, understand the Jamaican street?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, the streets is the streets, no matter where you are.
Street are street.
Yeah.
And the language too.
Well, the Jamaicans are all over the New York street too. Jamaica.
Exactly. So it's not much of a transition.
Okay. Well, I hope that they stay out of trouble and do the right thing.
That's the mission.
All right. So everybody's now very curious about the video. So let's go to it.
From they see you with me, they should know you, man.
Wow. The angel line say, I'm me alone in one.
Yeah. Always and forever.
And they're together in the video, you know?
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
So it's not just on the record, you're together in the video.
Of course, it's a great musical chemistry. You know what I mean? Because that's conviction, when you can make something look real, other than, you know, because, you know, I've had a legacy in collaboration, successes, from the Vibes Cartel to Beanie Man to G-Wiz, Cocoa Tea, of course, Love Is. And now Jakal, the list goes on and on.
And what about the Spice?
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is your biggest...
How can I say about that? No worries. No worries.
Online?
Zillions of views, no worries. It's in the people's heart.
You're big, over the million views?
That's true.
Come on.
Cut and clear.
Whatever is going on between both of you. Whatever is going on. But first.
Cut and clear that.
So the record good. The record that go wicked, right?
The record is dope, man. The people love it.
Trap dancehall. What's your take on it? What's your view?
Trap dancehall, the merge between rap and dancehall. I mean, it was bound to happen. Rap is the product of dancehall. A Jamaican started it. You know what I mean? So just going full circle.
Yes, but it's no.
A lot of people don't like it. You know, a lot of people have a problem with it. But there's a space for everything. I believe, especially music.
Well, it's evolving. Let's see where it's going.
Yeah, of course.
Dancehall, I don't think it could ever die. Because if you have 3% or 4% of the artists in this space doing trap hall, let's say, or whatever, other than authentic dancehall and reggae, it's only 3%.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That
we don't. Jamaica is always very flexible when it comes to creativity.
Yeah.
The creatives should be allowed to flow.
Yes.
But the identity, just a bit of responsibility on the part of the youth in particular, to own and control and cement the identity
of dancehall. But it always comes right back. It always comes back to the authenticity of dancehall.
Yes.
Because even myself, I just came back from Mississippi. I did Maine, upstate New York, and I did Cape Cod. And they're all craving for more the angel, you know, going off to Guyana this weekend, giving them more Pantapa more. And I always keep my music authentic and original and clean because I'm not explicit. And you have commended me for that many years ago when I said, you know, I'm a dancehall artist, but I'm not explicit and lewd. And I've been doing that for over 10 years. And then when I speak about my music and how refreshing my music is and still youthful and still holding, you know, a column in dancehall as a female dancehall artist, you know, a lot of people came at me when I said I do clean music. It's what it is. So do your research, and I empower them to do them, encourage them to do them research, which they did and they found out because, you know, I stand for what I believe in. You understand? I'm going to run with the banner and I'm going to carry it. And I do dancehall and I do reggae, but I keep it authentic and I did it my own way because I could have switched it, I could have changed because I was told by several selectors in the streets, me no dancehall enough. You understand what I say? So I say, I given birth to a life. 10 years after, I still have one of the biggest songs, most played in dancehall. I'm just a downtown girl living an uptown life, still one of the most plays in dancehall. So what do you classify as dancehall? And those are dancehall. So don't get it twisted. I'm true to what I do. I'm true to music and the authenticity of the music. I am preserving it in my own right.
But because your lyrics, so people don't perceive you to be explicit because your lyrics are sexual.
Yeah.
But you're not explicit.
No.
So you're deliberately drawing that line.
Because I can use different words to express myself, metaphors, instead of using, you know, derogatory ways. I find different ways. Because when I say, time for me to break free, uplifting, stronger, it's uplifting. Them I worry about me, me not worry about them. Uplifting, I'm so blessed, yeah. I'm uplifting. And when I say, may have a decent body with a decent wine, decent body good all the time. To very good.
What's this on my stage?
Yeah.
What is on my stage?
It's all about that Winford.
Whoa.
It's all about that. You know,
Oh
different
my
sides of
goodness.
different side of the angel.
And you
So
didn't go,
yeah.
you didn't get explicit right
No,
now.
it's sexy.
I hope it is not perceived to be explicit.
Sexy dance.
It didn't feel explicit to me.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's
It's just
supposed to.
sexy dance all, you know?
All right, so clear up the spice thing now. Where is this feud? You're done with it? Where is it?
Cut and clear that, Winford. Cut and clear that. You understand? Cut and clear that, and I have nothing more to say about that. Cut and clear, don't talk.
She dropped your video
Cut
from
and
her
clear.
page, didn't she?
Cut and clear, Winford. Cut and clear.
Cut and clear. All
Cut and clear. Every demon rise up against No Worries, because No Worries is the people them song. No Worries is a big song. No Worries is that true song. No Worries is on my page. 1.5 million views and counting. Music is not tag and war. Music is love. And when I did No Worries, I did it for love.
Okay. Well, I hope you two will find love again.
Cut and clear!
All right, so your shirt says, I'm a rich man.
Oh, yeah.
Explain that for us.
When I got this shirt, I just felt empowered to wear it on stage because the world, you know, is perceived like it's a male dominant world, but it's not. You know, I act like a lady and I think and hustle like a man. So basically, women are very emotional. You know, I'm not. Like, sometimes we don't go for our dreams because we make man stop with. You know, sometimes something happens and we just sit down and we cry and you know, it distracts you, you lose focus. Men don't operate like that. So right now, I'm embodied in a female body, but I think and I act like I think like a woman, but I hustle and I act like a man. So that's me. When I'm in the studio, I work from morning till night. Nobody can call my phone and say, baby, come home now. No, studio first, work after. May I work now? See you after. So the thing set.
That's an interesting statement.
Yeah. So that's how I feel. I feel like a lioness. I feel like I can conquer the world. So this T-shirt makes me feel.
But there are strong women who are doing that.
I know.
And they're not
and I'm
pretending
empowering.
to be men.
I'm feminine from head to toe. But at the end of the day, I just feel empowered and I feel strong, like I can take on the world without fear. And I'm always a fearless person. So I'm rocking this shirt fearlessly.
Okay. All right, Jakal, the next time you come, sir, as a solo artist, I hope,
Yes,
on
sir.
up to our stage.
The album's here, so I have
Share
more
with us.
singles. We'll be here.
Okay, cool,
Like,
cool.
yeah.
All right, sir, and the angel, as usual.
Thank you for having
She's
me.
home girl.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
I'll be the producer of the house. Why rush?
In there,
If
the rush.
they are,
Shout out
if
to
they are,
Rush,
rush there.
All right, so big up the rush. The rush is just arriving. At the end of the interview, the rush is arriving.
Yeah.
Thank you both for coming and sharing with us. All right, so that's our show for this week. Winford Williams, on behalf of all of us, thanking you for joining us. Do join us again next week for more On Stage.
Me there with you, no boy can't see me with you and try proof.
All right, so we're excited to tell you that our Onstage TV app is now available in both the Apple and Android stores. Download it, share it, and be on our stage anywhere, everywhere, always.